For thousands of years, the prophecy of the Red Heifer has been one of the most mysterious and debated aspects of biblical scripture. Found in Numbers 19:1-10, the Torah describes a very specific ritual. A flawless, unblemished red heifer must be sacrificed, and its ashes mixed with water to create a purification ritual for those who have come into contact with death. This wasn't just any ordinary sacrifice. This was a prerequisite for cleansing the people of Israel, and more importantly, a requirement before the construction of the Third Temple in Jerusalem. According to Jewish tradition, only 9 perfect red heifers have ever been sacrificed in history. The 10th, it is said, will be the one that ushers in the Messianic age. This prophecy, deeply tied to the rebuilding of the temple, is why the search for a perfect red heifer has persisted for millennia. The book of Ezekiel, Ezekiel 36:25, speaks of a time when God will sprinkle clean water upon the people, purifying them, a passage that many believe directly connects to the ritual of the red heifer. But here's where things take a turn for the apocalyptic. The Jewish sages argue that the coming of the red heifer and the subsequent temple construction are not just signs of purification, but also harbingers of the end times. Some point to Daniel 9:27, which references a final sacrificial system before a great tribulation. Revelation 11:1-2 describes a third temple in Jerusalem that plays a central role in the last days. So the question is, are we witnessing the fulfillment of prophecy in real time? Fast forward to today, and the search for the red heifer isn't just a religious curiosity, it's a geopolitical powder keg. In recent years, organisations such as the Temple Institute in Israel have actively sought to find and raise a perfect red heifer that meets the biblical criteria. And they may have found one. In 2022, 5 pure red heifers were flown from Texas to Israel, an event that made international headlines. These calves, raised under strict conditions to prevent blemishes, were brought to Israel specifically for the purpose of fulfilling this ancient ritual. The idea that one of these heifers will reach maturity, be sacrificed, and usher in the long-awaited Third Temple. But here's the problem. The Third Temple can only be built on the Temple Mount, a site currently occupied by the Al-Aqsa Mosque, one of the holiest sites in Islam. Any attempt to rebuild the temple would undoubtedly ignite a firestorm of conflict, potentially even triggering all-out war in the Middle East. And yet, certain religious and political groups continue pushing for its construction, believing that biblical prophecy demands it. Christian Zionists, ultra-Orthodox Jewish groups, and even some evangelical organisations in the United States see the red heifer as more than a religious symbol. It's a divine countdown clock, a trigger for the end times. And as history has shown, when people believe they are fulfilling prophecy, they will stop at nothing to make it happen. So what does all of this mean? If one of these Texas-born red heifers is deemed perfect and sacrificed, will we see the final steps toward the construction of the Third Temple? And if that happens, will it be a spiritual awakening or a political disaster? Biblical scholars and theologians have differing takes. Some argue that the red heifer is a purely symbolic act, meant for spiritual renewal rather than an actual prophetic event. Others claim that we are seeing the pieces of the final days fall into place, with the red heifer as the ultimate precursor to the apocalypse. Meanwhile, political analysts warn that using religion to justify territorial expansion or conflict could have devastating consequences. And then there's the question of intent. If a prophecy is meant to be fulfilled naturally, what happens when humans try to force God's hand? If religious zealots manipulate ancient scripture to justify their own political agendas, are they truly serving God or just themselves? So here's the million-dollar question. Is the red heifer prophecy unfolding before our eyes, or is this all a dangerous self-fulfilling prophecy orchestrated by those who want to reshape the world in their own image? Are we witnessing the divine timeline playing out exactly as written? Or are modern-day power players manufacturing events to bring about the end of the world as we know it? If the third temple rises, will it be a holy miracle or the spark that ignites the biggest religious conflict in human history? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's talk about it.